What's up, ladies and gents in Cyberland? This is Chris coming to you with another video for RGMF, and today I'm going to be doing a review on another Deftones album, and this was pretty much came out after Around the Fur. It came out in 2000, and it's one of the albums where a lot of people, when they say they know Deftones, they normally will mention this just because of the Change video. And lo and behold, White Pony. So, White Pony was a huge step in a different direction for Deftones. I think by that point they had decided that the sound that they had done up until that point with Adrenaline, and especially Around the Fur, they felt that they needed to start doing some things differently. And also because around that time you start to have Linkin Park was coming out, and then Korn, and then and that's around the time, 98, 99, really 2000, you were getting a lot more bands that were sounding very similar to Korn and Deftones. So I think they wanted to be like, look, we're not, I don't think it was a personal thing, but they were like, we're not going to just be just in this type of genre. We're a rock band, but we have different avenues we can go. So they came out with White Pony. I don't think I got White Pony right away because, again, I didn't get Around the Fur and White Pony. I got them at the same time, but I didn't get them when they first came out. I got them, I think, probably my senior year, or I think it was my freshman year of college, because I know I got the fourth album when I was in college. Anyway, when I listened to it, the first song, Fatishira, I don't really know how to say that name properly, so forgive me on that. It was cool. Compared to Around the Fur, it was a different. It wasn't as aggressive starting out, but then the next track kicks off, Digital Bath, and I was like, okay, so I see where they're going with this. It's being more of a groove record, I guess you could say. Still aggressive, still very aggressive, but a little step down from the aggressiveness Around the Fur, in my opinion. And then, of course, I also got into Change. I really didn't get into right away. That just didn't. It's one of my top 5 songs of the album. However, that's not what drew me to it. I think it was hearing Korea, because that is my favorite song on the album. I just like how it goes. I like the groove of it. Just full, kicks in with this little techno beginning, but then all of a sudden, boom, just comes in like full throttle. And then the other song I had heard, which wasn't technically part of the original album, was Mini Maggit, Back to School. And I like that. I thought it was different because mind you, I'm still coming into Deftones. I really don't know them just that much. And heard the video for it was different to me. And then just saying the common thing is saying back to school, we are the leaders and stuff. And it's not what you think it is. It was more of, finding your own place in school and understanding that find your own style, find your own uniqueness, and, and always, as Chino said, flip it kind of thing. Always keep trying to reach different goals and different avenues, because once you're doing something right that you believe in and it's really going, that people will try to copy you, and just when they keep trying to do that, flip it, so they can't keep up kind of thing. And then also the video showed like the cliques and stuff, the goths, the punks, the hip hoppers, the preppies, the pop kids, all that kind of crap too. So it was interesting. So with the album, listen to it from front to back. However, one song I didn't listen to right away was Pink Maggit. Pink Maggit to me, it just, because at this time I was like, and I know that's like, how are you not going to listen to the whole album? It was just at that time, I want the aggressive. And mind you, I was just barely starting to listen to Deftones. Like, I wasn't really fully immersed in what they were offering on each album just yet. And then, it was funny too, because once I finished, I finally would get to Pink Maggit, and I remember I was doing stuff, being productive around the house and stuff, and then all of a sudden I hear this screech kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it kicks in, and I was like, wait a minute, this sounds like the Back to School Mini Maggit. Of course, I didn't understand at the time that Mini Maggit came later after the album, and it was something with the label that wanted them to do. It was a whole skirmish, and the label wanted them to do something about it. So Anyway, great song. It's my second favorite song on the album because Korea gets #1 spot. And overall, I feel that this was the album that Deftones had to make in order to be able to make the albums that they came out with later. Don't get me wrong, Adrenaline has its moments, and Around the Fur, of course, is my favorite. But I think in order for them to be able to branch further out with the other albums that came later in their career, I think White Pony really opened that door. Because people always say change, but honestly, I don't think it was change that fully caused that to happen. I think it was probably RX Queen, Digital Bath, Teenager, and the song Passenger. And Teenager it's not one of my top 5. It's not even one of my favorite songs. There's not one song on the album I don't like. It's just whatever with it. But Passenger really is very special. It's not one of my top 5, but it's special because you have Maynard from Tool on the song, and it's a different vibe to it. You still get Deftones, but it feels like a little bit of Tool style in that song. And I think that's what really helps the album shine, is that song in particular, besides Digital Bath, RX Queen, and Change. Because those 4 songs, to me, really show the growth of the band and not just being how the songs were on Around the Fur. Because you still have songs like that Around the Fur. It's just those songs in particular really stick out to make it appear that this is a huge step in a different direction from Around the Fur. So it also marks, I would say, the high point for the band, because eventually what starts to happen after this album and tour is that the band starts to become, I wouldn't say necessarily toxic, but the relationships start to deteriorate and there starts to become a lot of problems. And that's eventually going to come later with the next review I do for the next album, and of course the album after that. So how I would rank, or I would give this album 5 out of 5 yes sirs. There wasn't anything that I did not enjoy about this album. I enjoyed the lyricism. The guitar was on, everything was on point. Is it my favorite album? No, that's still Around the Fur, because I don't think they'll ever reach that. I don't think they'll ever reach that much aggressive. Like, it won't be that aggressive from front to back. Again, I don't think they'll do another album like that, and you don't really want them to. You want to keep doing different things. However, it is a gem. If you were gonna want a transition album for the Deftones, at least in their career when they were first like coming along, I would say you would pick this up before you pick up Around the Fur. If you want to see a little bit of the dynamic of how they were about to shift into going to different gears, then I would say check that out. Now, tracks wise, my top 5 is Korea, Pink Maggit, Change, what else we got? Elite, and Digital Bath. So those are my top 5. Korea I already talked about. Pink Maggit, of course. Just the song itself is just, it's almost like 2 stories in one, and you got to kind of listen to. I don't feel the lyrics is just all about one subject. I think it's really 2 things going on. So you got get a chance to check that out. Change, everybody knows that song, so it's not really much to say about it. It's just one of my top 5 because the overall groove of it and just how the song plays out. Elite, I really enjoy Elite because it's more reminiscent of Around the Fur. Period, point blank. So if you like, out of all the songs on the album, the Around the Fur song, or the one that's very similar to Around the Fur, is going to be probably Korea and Elite. But I would say Elite out of the whole album. And then Digital Bath is more of a laid-back groove song. It does get aggressive at points, but not too much. It's more of like, it kind of reminds me of a song where you could be driving down the beachside and all of a sudden, like, it kicks in, you just hear the drums, and then you hear like this melodic singing over it, and then at some points you get like the heavy distortion from the band and the guitars and bass and stuff and the drums. But otherwise it tends to be just kind of like a cruise song. So very happy with what that album was, and it's one again. It's another album I listen to this day. It's not anything where I'm like, that's so. I'm in a different mindset. A lot of the music for Deftones, it's never a dull moment to where I could be like, oh, I don't know about this, maybe not. You got to be in the mood for any music you listen to. But this album for me, just like Around the Fur, it's very special. So, with that being said, let's just cue the music.